Hi, I'm Yusi. Welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm going to be sharing the life lessons that were shared during my 30th birthday. So I have 7 in here that are about relationships. I kind of created different themes based on the responses I got. So themes were pulled, and this is about relationships. So I hope it helps you, and let's get started. So while I'm pulling them out, I will also be needing some clay in the meantime, like when I talk about more things related to what advice I got. So let's begin. Okay, so the first one, this is from a friend from high school, and she says, one of the life lessons I hold close is when you pray for God to take control of your life, you actually relax and let Him do it. You can't enter a bus and place your life in the hands of the driver and still be trying to drive the bus. The driver should have autonomy over the bus. So, in the same vein, place your life in God's hands and let Him have autonomy, because His ways are not the ways of man. That is extremely powerful, and I love it. I find myself not trusting God enough when I know that He has come through for me in many ways. And you know, this is definitely more of like your relationship with God. So positioning yourself as really His child and believing that God will come through for you with whatever you're facing. And even if He doesn't, may His will be done, So I love that. Let's do the next one. Okay. Oh, it's kind of hard to do my clay while I'm pulling things out of the jar, but we'll see. It might not work in sync. Okay, so this is from someone I knew from high school. He was in one of the male versions of my all-girl high school. So he says, all in life is vanity. God is the most important and only thing. No matter the situation, give thanks to God. So this is also another one about one's relationship with God, and putting Him first in all things. So I know there's a verse about seeking Him first and all things will follow. I feel like this kind of aligns with that. So no matter the situation, he says, give thanks to God. So yeah, very nice. Okay, it's a coincidence that I'm both related to God, because I know that I have some here that is like related to relationship with others. But let's see what this one says. Okay. Oh, this is from a friend from my primary school. So she says, the better you pour into yourself, the better you can pour into others. And I really like this one because this is a relationship with yourself. And part of my New Year's resolution, in addition to trying to increase, or I guess improve my relationship with others, is improving my relationship with myself. So this definitely speaks to me about pouring into myself so I could pour into others. So I love this, and I think it's extremely important, because if you don't have to give to yourself, like, how do you give to others? You feel me? All right. So we've done 3 so far, moving in really fast. Let's see what the 4th one says. Ooh, 2. So let's do this one. All right. Okay. All right. So this is someone I met while I was in uni, so my undergrad. And he says, be truthful to yourself and people about where you're really at, because you never know who your helper is. Man was never meant to be an island. It takes a multitude to make one person great, which is amazing. Like, this is so true. So I know people pretend around others, And he's saying you should be truthful about where you're at, because the person you might be speaking to might be someone who can either lead you to someone that can be a solution or be the solution themselves. So it's definitely something to try to do in a world where everyone tries to pretend that everything's perfect. So I like that. So being just like, as transparent as you can with people, but with discernment. All right. So this is the fifth one. And this was my auntie. She gave me this advice. She says, the advice I will give is know and fear God, because without him, there will always be a void in one's soul, and invest in people. So love and show kindness, empathy. So she told me her age, and she said that she has learned that hatred, bearing grudge will eat one up. So rather, don't be stingy with love. Not just love to a boyfriend or a husband, but family, friends, and people who you interact with. That's extremely powerful. She talks not only about, relationship with God, but also relationship with others. And yeah, I try not to, hold grudges. Like, I know there's some people in my life that I don't speak to anymore, maybe because we fell off because of a disagreement, but no, like, all has been forgiven, to be very honest. So yeah, I love this, that it's not only talking about romantic relationships but also platonic, and she points that out. So yeah, like this, don't be stingy with love. Okay, so we have, I believe, 2 left, and let me see what this one says. Okay, so this was from someone I met, a friend from that I met in uni, undergrad. Okay, and I think he was also in the boy version of my high school, but can't really remember. So he said, I'd say, preserve the important friendships and relationships in your life, especially a relationship with yourself. Not everyone is meant to stay, but some people are not worth losing. And this hit home. I like that he not only touches on relationship with others, but with yourself, because I know that's on my bucket list. Not bucket list, I guess my my resolution. But then I like that he says, to really preserve friendships that are, hard to find and precious. And I think I did that, I think earlier this year, but although I think it's something to keep in mind. I know we have this culture of cutting people off when something happens that seems like a red flag, but I think it's important to step back and really think that, is this person actually worth losing? Yeah, I like this. Very nice. Okay, so the final one for this video, there will be a part 2, and tell me which life lesson speaks to you. So these are, I asked for impactful life lessons, and this is what I got. And tell me if there's one that speaks to you the most, or if you have a couple that you like. So this is someone I met in my undergrad as well, and this is kind of a long one. So he says that the life of a believer isn't absent of turmoil and tragedies. However, in my experience, God uses the turmoil and tragedies so well, you almost think he sponsored it. But most importantly, his presence abides with us every step of the way, only if you are looking for the presence. If not, in search of those little wonders, it will almost look otherwise. I read somewhere, coincidence is God's way of remaining anonymous. So with the above understanding and conviction, live and enjoy life to the best of your abilities whenever and wherever you can. It will look different year to year, but these are the ingredients for depth and love in our lives. I love it. That's very insightful for sure. And yeah, like God uses very interesting situations to show that He is very much present in our lives. And you know, I really like how He pulls from that. Yeah, so enjoy life. You know, everyone is trying to grind, and it's important to do so, but also trying to check on loved ones, you know, like especially being an immigrant, now citizen, but you know, being an immigrant, you are just caught up in the hustle and bustle, and you kind of forget people or forget to check on people back home. I think it's very important to do so because, like, you know, birthdays, so like different things are passing by, and you know, you're just like in your 9 to 5 grinding, but also try to prioritize like loved ones, whether they are in the same, you know, country as you, or there are other places in the world. So that's where I kind of got from this, because I remember my 30th birthday was like one of, like, I hadn't spent my birthdays with my grandparents in like over a decade. So like my 30th was a very special one because I was in Nigeria at the time and I was able to spend it with them. But yeah, so that is it for this video. We are empty for now, and in the next video, part 2, I will be pulling some other ones about relationships that we will go over. But in the meantime, I think you should check out the one about character. You know, who are you, and who do you present yourself to be able to have these different relationships, whether it's a relationship with yourself, relationship with others, and the relationship to God, or you know, who you believe in. So definitely check out this video because this one will be about the impactful life lessons about character. All right, thank you guys for watching. As my dad used to say, it's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. So definitely do something today that your future self will thank you for. And I will see you in the next video. Okay, bye.